So right from the beginning, before I even start reading, notice that this looks like y equals kx. So here's a couple of things. K is like the slope. But technically, we call it the constant. You guys should be writing this down somewhere. Rate. So I'm just going to say constant rate of proportionality. And then m is the slope. And we call that rise over run, which is also delta y, the change in y over the change in x, which has a formula y2 minus y1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Okay. And sometimes we can call that the unit rate, which can be k, which can be m, which we'll sometimes refer to as the slope. So there's a bunch of different ways that we could do this. Okay. Those three, they're synonymous in the sense that they're similar. Maybe synonymous is not the right word. They're very similar. You should know that they're representing how on a straight line we get from one point to the next point. Okay. So with all that being said, let's see how that applies here. It says here the equation y equals 2.75x represents the rate in barrels per hour. Okay, barrels per hour. Notice that barrels represents the y and hours represents the x. That oil is pumped from well A. The graph represents the rate that oil is pumped from well B. So we've got two different things. So I know the rate for one. What do you think they want us to do for well B? They want us to compare. So they want to know which one has the higher rate or lower rate, right? Well, specifically, they say which pump has the faster rate. Well, I know that well A is 2.75. So well A has a 2.75 rate. Okay, I know that. It's in the equation. It's in the equation. And I'm not sure why, but in your textbook, do you have this in your textbook, the 2.75? You should. I don't know why it didn't copy for me when I did it, but it should be 2.75. So now I just got to calculate the rate for B based on the graph. So let me show you a little trick here. See this point right here? It looks like it crosses the grid. What does that look like to you? If this is 2 and this is 4 and this is 6 and this is 8, doesn't that look like 8 comma 20? Doesn't that look like that? Well, let's see what they said. Well, they said, go look at this and calculate, from here to here, I've got 2.75. That's what I'm adding. From here to here, I add 2.75. From here to here, I add 2.75. And then from here to here, I add 1. From here to here, I add 1. From here to here, I add 1. So it says use the table to find the slope of well A. The unit rate is 5.5 minus 2.75, which is 2.75. And then 2 minus 1, which gives you 2.75 barrels per hour. I knew that because I knew over here that K, the constant of proportionality, is the same as the slope, is the same as M, is the same as the rise over run, is the same as delta Y over delta X, is the same as Y sub 2 minus Y sub 1 all over X sub 2 minus X sub 1. Also, AKA the unit rate. How do we find the unit rate for B? Well, I just got to find a point on the line. Now, they said it looks like it crosses at 10 comma 4. So if you go over to 4, it looks like it crosses right here. So they used a closer one. They said 4 comma 10. I'm sorry, I mispronounced that. And so what's the rise? Well, if I start here, my rise is going to be, I'm going to go up 10 units. And then my run, you guys should be writing this down. I don't see pencils or pens moving. Then to get to the point over here, I went over 4. So what you would do is you would say your rise is 10 and your run is 4. That's where those numbers come from. What's 10 divided by 4? 2.5, right? 2.5. So which one has the faster rate? Well, A because 2.75 is faster, right? 2.75 is faster than 2.5. Real quick, and we're almost done. Then you guys can do your homework if you want. Thank you, Mr. Adams. Actually, we got one more example, but we can knock that out in a second. It says, describe the relationship among the slope of the graph of well A's rate and the equation of well A's rate and the constant proportionality. I would say it like this. The slope equals the unit rate equals the constant of proportionality. M equals K equals rise over run equals, okay, and let me make that a little more visible for you guys. Does that make sense? They all mean the same thing. And so when I say y equals 2.75x, I know that this is k, which is also m, which is also r for the unit rate. I should probably type that in there. Okay, they all mean the same thing. Any questions on that one?